Another principle of adventure is the discovery is the reward. This is a play on it's the journey, not the destination, but I like my version better. The discovery is the reward. So, you know, it's not about the summit, it's not about the mountain, it's who you become climbing the mountain that comes home with you. So yes, don't get me wrong, it's always about the mountain. We're going to climb the mountain, and yet the discovery is the reward. There was this wilderness trip I did in the McCarthy area called the Lochana River with my friend Sherry, and we didn't have very much beta. We just had, the only thing we knew was it's a 2-day trip, you should take 3, and the river's splashy but never really, scary. And so away we went. Oh, and then on the Root Glacier, follow the White Tongue. So there we go. We tennis shoe up a huge glacier, not hugely unlike this one, although much kinder than this one to walk on. And as we're leaving the beautiful big mountains, Mount Blackburn, the whole Wrangles, the high mountains, the ice falls, everything, we're like, oh man, how sad, we hate to leave the beautiful place. And for us, we were then going to go over this pass, drop down to the river and float out. But we were both just like, man, what a bummer, just hate leaving the beautiful. So up we go. And then we get to this pass, and it might be up there with the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. And it was so unexpected. Like, we come around the corner and all of a sudden it's this series of step down lakes with this huge peak in the background. I think it's called Castle Peak, but it's one of those like incredibly dramatic, beautiful peaks. And we're just gobsmacked, right? We're just taking 1,000 pictures, and it's reflecting in the lakes, and it's like the perfect, it's like my favorite time in the evening. I like to call it the witching hour, when everything gets really quiet and still. And it was just one of the most spectacular places I've ever been. And so the discovery is the reward. Like, we felt like we had this huge discovery, right? Because we didn't expect it to get that pretty. We didn't expect it to get that cool. And then there we were. It was like so much better than we expected, and so much, not better than what we had been in, but just different and spectacular in its own right. And so, yeah, the discovery is in the reward. And I think one of my favorite stories, if you hang out with me long, you'll hear some version of it, is climbing Aconcagua. And it's a really long story, so I'm not going to tell it here, but who I became when I dug deep and found it in me to walk in, suspend disbelief, calibrated in the most likely worst case scenario, another principle of adventure, and just try, and then to have it go as it did and everything else beyond my wildest imagination of how good it could go, right? Like, I always joke that I don't have the liberty of being a person that doesn't believe in dreams, because I've had too many of them just come true right in front of my eyes. Statistically impossible. But yes, it's the mountain, right? I was walking, but who I became to climb the mountain changed me forever. And I'll never be the same. So if we think organizationally, a team in coordinated and effective action has a plan that they're operating to, right? Shared goals, shared risk, something aspirational that gets people going, that gets them excited about, and where everybody's on the same team, so the team's in coordinated and effective action. But yeah, so the plan is there, the business results are there, everything's there, but it's who you become in achieving that plan that stays with you forever. So when it's done in 5 years, you're still the team that did it, and that is a new group of people that can really do anything, right? You've done that. Heck, let me get out of the way, right? So the discovery is the reward. It's who you become in the doing that is the gift that comes home with you and is sustaining over time. So it's not about the moose. It's about getting you out there to the places where the moose are, and the thoughts you have and the realizations you have when you're there. It's not about the mountain. It's who you become in climbing it. It's who you become with your people when you're doing it together. It's the memories you create and the strength of the friendship that is a result. And with your team, it's who you become to achieve this huge thing that you're super proud of, and the ways you work together that can never be taken away. So the discovery is the reward is one of the more beautiful, if you will, principles of adventure, both literally and figuratively, like this spot. day I finally figured out how to land here and discovered maybe one of my favorite places on the planet. The discovery is the reward, and who you become in doing it comes home with you. So there you have it.